Okay, so today we had a couple hours of sunlight, and I went ahead and pushed this thing outside and pressure washed under the hood. Turned out pretty good. Got all the grease and grime and mice poop and acorns and grass and whatever else off. So when I got everything cleaned off, I found that we had a little mice action. We got a couple wires that's been chewed right here that I got to repair going to the computer. This thing here is actually the computer for this car. And we got like 5 or 6 wires. Hopefully they stop right here. I kind of peeled that back and I didn't see anything else chewed. I think there's one ground wire right here that got chewed. So hopefully they just stayed right here and got those wires. But I didn't see anything else that was out of the ordinary. I got to get a power steering pump cap. They just got well, they had another rag in there. I put that rag in there, but the cap is missing. So I got to find one of those. And also, I went ahead and did a little cleaning up on the inside. Got to fix that door. So I vacuumed it out, cleaned it up a little bit, got all the trash out. So, like I say, we had a couple hours of sunlight today. It was still cold, so I said, well, I got some sunlight. It'd be easier for me to push it outside and do a little cleaning on it. I went in the trunk and did a little cleaning back here too. It ain't really nothing to see, but so I gotta fix these wires. I want to fix that before I put a battery in it. I still got to take the drain screw out and make sure that there's no oil left in it. It's not reading on the dipstick, so I don't know if they drained it for EPA reasons before they stuck it out there. The drain screw is in it, so I'm going to pop a new filter on there. It's got one of those Fram filters. I'm going to pop that off. Got a new filter for it and put some fresh oil in it. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is come over here to the throttle body and unhook the fuel lines. I don't know if I really want to pump that gas that's inside the gas tank, if any, into the throttle body. I didn't see a hole in the tank when I was under there. I went ahead and pressure washed up under the back. So I might just pull the fuel pump fuse, and when we get the battery in it, turn the key on and see if the gas hand even moves. And if it does move and show gas, then we'll put the fuse back in, take these hoses off, let that drain into a cup or a bucket or whatever we can drain into before we let that suck up to the throttle body. And which I got another throttle body I've had for years off a Plymouth Acclaim that I think is still good. So even if that injector don't work, I got another one. So what I'm gonna do is try and find some wire connectors and fix this little hungry mice problem, and we'll go from there and see if we can get this thing in the air and see what comes out of the oil pan. Hopefully it's not water. Hopefully it's some oil, and we'll get to see if there's any metal shavings or anything. I think it might have a magnet on it. I'm not sure. But I did research and find a matching rim for it. There's a place in Washington, I believe. I think it's somewhere near Washington State that has a salvage yard. And believe it or not, they got one the exact same color as this one. It's even faded like it. And it's a complete car. They're parting out. So I did find a matching rim, and it has a good driver's side seat. So I sent them an email, and I'm gonna wait and see if they will respond. I think they wanted like, I want to say they wanted like $25 for the rim, and it was like, I think $10 or $15 shipping. But they didn't have the seat listed, but they had the car listed as parts only. So hopefully I'll be able to get hold of them and get a good deal on some parts. And I wrote down a list of stuff that it needs, so hopefully I can get a package deal and get it all shipped to me. So like I said, I'm gonna repair these wires, and then we'll move on to something else on it. So I got this thing in the air. I was gonna change the oil, and I noticed it didn't have a starter. Here's the wires for it. They were just hanging down there, and I was like, oh man, someone took the starter off of it at the junkyard. So I went ahead and ordered one for it. Called a couple parts places, and they wanted a core, which was like 22 bucks. So I got on the old Amazon, found one for like $60, which they wanted 80 plus $20. And it'll be here the next day or two. So we got that coming. I'm fixing to slide in and change the oil. I got the wires repaired. One of them they had a big section out of. I was going to shrink wrap these, but I ran out of shrink wrap. So the next closest thing I had was just these connectors. So whoop-de-doo. So let's slide down here and see if we can change this oil. See what comes out. Let's go get some water dripping from earlier today. You guys set up. Hopefully it don't drip on the camera. There's a drain pan right there. Looks like that might be, oh, man, I got water dripping. That might be a 1/2 inch or look like vice grips. Right where the water's dripping down on me. Lovely. Okay, it's a 1/2 inch. Drain pan. Half inch or 13, either one. Drum roll. Hopefully it's not full of water. Ooh man, that's some good oil. That oil looks nice and good. I almost don't even want to drain it out. That oil is super clean. Look at that. It's just low. But I bought some new oil, so I'll just put some new oil in it anyway. Look like somebody just gave it an oil change. Wow. That's a good sign. I don't see any metal shavings on the magnet. Man, that oil is, I mean, brand new. I almost just want to pour it back in there. It's super clean. It don't smell burnt. So, but I am going to change the oil filter because I don't like Fram oil filters. I mean, you guys might be a little different than me, but I've heard some bad stories about them. So, but yeah, it's got fresh oil in it. So, I guess we'll let that drain out, and I'll pour the oil back in it, fresh oil in it, and then we'll change the oil filter, and we'll wait on the starter to come before we can crank it. That's the only thing we can do on that note. So I'm gonna get my camera away from under here because there's water dripping everywhere. See up top. So I took off the Fram oil filter. It didn't have any big amounts of oil in it, I guess because the car had been sitting. But I dumped it on this paper towel, and I don't see any metal shavings that came out on what little oil that was in there. And inside of it, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but inside of it is clean. It's got some clean oil in it. Let's see if we can get it to come out of there. There it goes. So, like I said, I don't see any metal shavings or brass shavings or anything. So that's a good sign. I don't know, maybe they changed the oil before they set the car up, or maybe it's got some ticky-tacky to it and they changed the oil to get it out. I mean, I don't know. According to the driver's side seat, looked like they had been rigging on the seat so much that it wouldn't stay sitting up. So maybe they just stopped driving it because the driver's side seat was messed up in it. So we're going to replace this filter and put new oil in it anyway, and go from there with it. So what was I going to do next? Oh, oil. So before I let it down, I went ahead and checked out this power steering metal bypass tube that goes across that they accidentally cut when they cut off the converter, and they just kind of sliced it right there. It's like they were cutting the pipe and then yoink. So what I'm thinking I can do is put one of those compression fittings in there to connect the two tubes back together, and so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off of here, and I'm gonna find a compression fitting for it. Oh, they're tight. Oh man, that sucker's on. They're pretty good. I might have to get a line wrench. Oh, there we go. I really hate they cut the converter off of it, but that's what junkyards do. You know, they can get more money out of the converters when they got a bunch of them. But I wish he wouldn't have cut the tube, but they probably never figured they would sell the rack or sell the whole car. So there it is right there. So I'm thinking if I can get a compression fitting and hook from there and then to the other line, that'll fix the power steering leak. Hopefully. I don't know if you can buy that separate anymore. You might have to buy the whole rack. So you can see where they snipped the pipe off right there. Looks like it's about a 2-inch pipe, I believe. And by looking at that clamp, you probably can buy the whole converter set up. because actually there's the flange right there. So you probably can buy that. I'm going to see if you can just buy the whole converter setup. If you can, I'll just buy the whole converter and all, because it looks like it's made onto that pipe. I don't think it was welded on to begin with. And if I can, I'll just get it and we'll just put it on there if it's not extremely high. Or if we hear this thing run, I might just run it up to the muffler shop and just tell them to put a piece of straight pipe in there. I thought about a piece of flex pipe just for temporarily use. I don't know if they got a piece of flex pipe that long though. So I'm gonna check on the converter first and then see what's going on. But up under this car is really solid. I did find a little surface rust in the trunk once I got all that junk out. But the floorboards are solid, which is good. I mean, this is when cars are made out of real metal. Not like your early 70s and late 70s cars. Because this thing was sitting on the ground on 3 flats and a donut. So, and I think the gas tank is in good shape. I don't know about the inside, but they didn't knock a hole in it. I know these new junkyards, these pull aparts and LKQs, when the car come in, they'll knock a hole in the gas tank and drain all the gas out and just set the car out there. But I don't think from back here, I don't think they knocked a hole in it. Let's see if we can ease back there. Well, there's the fuel filter right there. I don't see a hole. I don't know what that is right here. Is that rust? Uh-oh. That don't look too good. Smells like gas. So I think the tank is starting to rust out on it. Look at that. I see I can smell gas. And actually, it don't smell too bad. I mean, it don't smell like varnish. I mean, but yeah, that tank I think it's starting to leak. I can see it dripping now. I cleaned the rust off. So I guess I might as well get a pan up under there, because it's definitely not water. So gas tank, it's gonna be a bust. Unless I can, I don't know if gas tank, that stuff you use to seal holes in tank, I don't know if I can put that in there or not, or get it repaired. Probably just gonna have to get a new tank. I spoke too soon. Oh yeah, oh, look at that. God. As soon as I move the rust. Well, so much for the gas tank, but the gas looks good. I mean, it's not all yellow. I mean, not yellow, but brownish looking. It don't even stink. So, let me get a pan up under there. So much for that. And we'll wait on the starter to come. And I'll try and fix this fitting. And we'll move along. So let me get something to get that, because I don't know how much gas is in it. It might be leaking all night. So alright. We'll wait till the next day. So I got to thinking, before I let it down, since that gas ain't that funky and I got another throttle body, why don't we just throw a battery in her and just to see if the gas hand even moves, what powers up, and if the fuel pump works. So I'm gonna throw a battery in there. I'm just curious now, just to see what comes on. Oh, man. Hopefully the cables reach. Hard work with one hand. All right. And here's the hot. And y'all ready? Fingers crossed, nothing don't catch on fire. I hear a door buzzer. So we can't start it, so let's make sure this wire over here is not touching anything metal, which is not. We don't have a starter. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna turn the key on. Y'all ready? I hear the fuel pump. The fan's on. Gas hand's going to E. Airbag lights on, of course. The fan is so loud, it seemed like I heard the fuel pump. Let's listen. I can't tell if it's on or not. They got the fan straight wired. I'm gonna unplug it right here. We don't need it right this second anyway. Maybe I can hear the fuel pump. Might have to turn the key in the start position. Ugh. It's tight over here. I hear a fuel pump relay, I guess. I don't think the fuel pump's working. I don't hear anything. Let's see if we got lights. Y'all ready? We don't have no flip-ups. Well, we got a dome light that just came on. The information center. We got tail lights. Let's go to the front. No side marker. The headlights are on because I can see them. Might be missing something. Relay. We got one marker light at the front. There's a couple of relays unplugged right here. They got that one running straight to the fan with this wire. I think this is the fan relay. There's another relay here. There's something missing there. But our headlights are not flipping up, but they're on. They're definitely on. I don't know if the motors are there. Looks like I see the motors, but you can turn these up automatically. I mean manually. Sorry about that. So we don't have any dash lights. Now the information center light went out. Does the key have to be on? I don't hear a fuel pump, but our gas hand is not all the way on E. But we don't have any dash lights, which it could be a relay, because there is a relay right here that's cracked, and there's one that's not even in the. It's one that's just disappeared. It's one that just fell down through there. That's not even. connected. I don't know where that one came from. It's one of these metal relays or circuit breaker. The power window AC fuse is missing. So, but we don't have no flip up headlights. So, does the horn work? Turn signals? I hear turn signals. That's the right side. I mean left side. So yeah, we got left turn signal. Got left. Let's see if we got right. I bet you there's a relay or something missing on the headlights. I can see one of the motors. It's flashing in there. We don't have. Whoa! Something doesn't sound right about the windshield wipers. That should be right side. The windshield wipers came up. And it didn't sound too good. Something's missing. I noticed something's missing because this is not hooked up. I don't know what that was. So we got our right side. Oh, the marker light came on. That's the windshield wiper. Hear it? Somebody's robbed something off of it. That's why they're not moving. I'm gonna have to see what that is. Let's see if we got both markers in the front. Ah, I guess that bulb is bad. Still ain't got headlights though, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's up with that. It's got to be a relay missing. I don't think they robbed the motors out. It look like I can see one up under there, but that'll be something we'll look at in the future. So we know we got power. I don't see anything smoking. Look like the gas hand might be working and didn't go fully to E. So I didn't hear a fuel pump, so I guess I'm gonna have to round up one of those. Windshield wiper motor works. Still got a lot of gas leaking out of there. Anyway, oh, we got another light. Low fuel. So the gas hand is moving. It went to low fuel and the hand is slowly moving down to E. Look like our battery volt gauge work. So let's see, does that hand move when we turn the key off? Look like it moves some. I don't know if they stay where they're supposed to be at. That's the starter relay. So we know we got some kind of power going to it. I just got to figure out what's up with the headlights, which I'll probably do that another day. It's getting kind of late. So, well, she's coming alive. Just gotta do a little tinkering with it. We'll get that starter and we will see what she fire up And maybe some other stuff will start working, like the headlights might pop up. You know how stuff, when it sits for a long time, it just need that extra boost. But yeah, so we'll just wait and see what happens when the starter come in, and we'll go from there. Okay. I know I'm keeping you like on your toes and a lot of suspense going on, but I thought about that relay that they got out. I wonder, does that relay control the headlights? So there were some relays laying down in the car. They were just laying down in here. I'm gonna plug it up and see just what happens, because they got this tied in there. I don't know if this is a cooling fan relay or what, but it's one missing. So let's see what it does. I don't know if just all right, the relay's plugged in. Let's turn some power on now. I did look up under there. Both headlight motors are on the car. So let's see now what happens. Y'all ready? Nothing. I didn't get nothing. Still no headlights. That's the horn relay. Oh, that scared the hell out of me. That's actually the horn relay. I pushed in it with my finger. So, where's the horn at? I hooked it. Oh, that one wire behind the steering wheel is broken off. But that's actually the horn relay. Wow. So we'll know the horn works if we fix that wire. But still, we don't have any headlights. Well, we got headlights, but they're not coming up. They won't. There's got to be something missing. Hopefully our little furry friends then. Now there's a relay. My batteries are going dead in my light. There's a relay missing right here. I don't know what that's for. So either it can be the switch, or I wouldn't think both motors will be gone out. So, oh well, I just wanted to try that. So that didn't do it. Alright, so it's the next day, and I went and round up some parts for the old Daytona. Show you what I got. We got our flex pipe. Now this is going to go in where the converter is missing, and we're going to hook it to that piece of flange pipe that's coming off of the manifold. It's just a 2-inch flex pipe, came with the clamp. And we got an extra 2-inch clamp. And also I got this, I had a clamp already for this end. This is just a tailpipe, 2-inch. So let me show you what I did with the power steering line also. I'll probably have to go up under there. But I got this compression fitting for the power steering line that comes over the top of the rack where they accidentally cut it. Just a little compression fitting. You can put your 2 pieces of tubing together and squeeze it on down. So, let's get here. I went ahead and fixed that. You see that compression fitting with the tubing going into it, and I got flex pipe slid up on the little flange pipe that comes off the manifold, and it's going to here. So we just got it right now temporarily just sticking out there. What I'm going to have to do is take this pipe here, slide it on there like that. I'm going to have to just kind of just whack it off where it's will slide into the flex pipe, and then we'll put 2 clamps on it, and that should temporarily keep it quiet for the first start. Now, waiting on the starter to come. It's supposed to be here today. Then I looked back on there, it said before 8 p.m. Right now it's like 5 something, so hopefully it'll get here before it's too late, and we'll get the start on there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and snip this off, measure it, get the exhaust finished, and probably going to move back there to the gas tank. It's been leaking for the last day. It had quite a bit of gas leaked out. There is a rust hole at the bottom of the tank, so I'm going to try and check the fuel pump back there. But right now I'm going to go ahead and finish this exhaust setup, and then we'll move on to try and see if we can get the fuel pump to come on. If not, I think I got a fuel pump I might make work, but we might pull it out of the tank. You don't have to drop the tank really to get the fuel pump out. It's kind of at the front of the tank pointing out. It's not up under the floorboard or to the side. So let me get this finished, and that should take care of the power steering leak when we fire it up, and that should take care of the exhaust. I did find a converter. It's the converter with the flange pipe. It's just the whole system. It goes from the manifold all the way to the converter, and then it connects. It connects right here, so we'll be able to take this clamp off and just take all this stuff off and slide it right in. But I'm not going to do anything until I hear this thing run. Make sure we don't have an engine problem, and if it fire up and run, then I'll be ready to take care of that. I think I'm just going to put the converter back on it. I don't know. I'm going to see how it sounds with just the straight pipe. And if not, if it sounds crappy or something, we'll put the converter on it. But either way, I'm not going to keep this flex pipe stuff on there. This is just a temporary fix just to hear it run. I'm going to actually, if I do anything, I'm just going to take it to the muff shop and just get them to put me a piece of pipe in and weld it up to the flange pipe here, and then it'd be legit. Because those flex pipes, they tend to leak after a while. They let exhaust come through where they flex at. So really, it's just like a temporary fix. Really, they're really made for the tailpipe, I believe, or like if you got a hole in your pipe that runs straight back to your muffler. I don't think they're really made for being up on the manifold. So, but we'll address that after we hear it fire up. So look what the cat drug in. We got the new starter. I test fitted it to the transmission back here in the back to make sure it was going to flush up to the back of the bell housing. I had to round up some screws because I don't have any screws, so I found 3 screws, and I test fitted to make sure the wires were going to connect on back, which they did. Now this is a Remand starter. It says Chrysler Corporation, but of course it's a Remand. And it's a Bosch starter. There's the Bosch number. And I was told that these cars had two different types of starters. They had a Nip and Denso starter, and they had a Bosch starter. So by checking the VIN number, which the 8-digit is K, this car is supposed to came with the Bosch starter. Now they said also that one starter had 9 teeth on the starter gear and one had 12. So I haven't counted that yet, but from what I'm understanding is Bosch is what needs to be in it. So we're going to throw it in there. I'm just going to barely bump the key and make sure that there's no grinding, and make sure everything is going to turn over just right. So the exhaust system is all connected up. And you can see that in the picture. It's just getting the starter in and getting the wires connected. Now I was going to mess with the fuel system. I was going to check, see was there any power back there, but the starter showed up and I said, let's play with the starter. Let's actually hear this thing turn over. So I plugged the fuel pump back up. Now I didn't hear anything back there the other day when I turned the key without the starter in it. So if it cranks, it cranks. If it don't, we'll dump a little gas down in the throttle body and see what happens. Hopefully we got fire to the distributor. I have not checked the spark plugs. We'll just see what she's gonna do. We're just gonna go all in just like it is and see what's gonna happen. So let me get this starter in there and then we'll put the battery in it and see what's gonna happen. Alright, so I got the starter in. Let's put the battery in it and hook it all up there and cross our fingers. Hopefully starter works out the way it's supposed to work. We don't get any flywheel grind because I'm unsure about the starter. But make sure everything's alright. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna bump it just to see if the starter is going to get into the flywheel right. I don't know if you're supposed to hold your clutch pedal down. Clutch pedal's down. I got nothing. Whoa! There we go. She turns over. She woke up, folks. Alright, so that sounds good. So how about we spray some brake cleaner off in the throttle body and see what that does. I got some gas, but I have to go outside and get it, so we'll just shoot it with a little go-go juice. Sound pretty good. Hopefully it's no timing issues. Y'all ready? Throttle cable working. Sounds kind of weak. Should we check it for fire? That's what I'm unsure of. Hopefully the timing belt didn't just break. Sounded like it had compression at first and then it went away. I can't see the timing belt through the hole. Might just be my imagination. Let's pull one of the spark plugs and see if we got fire. Ew. Those plug wires are corroded. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from back here. Guess I can unplug this light. I don't even know if I can see it. Where is the spark plug? Fire in the hole. Big fucking cranks. I can't see from back here. Hopefully the critters and got up into the exhaust pipe and got it all clogged up. That would suck. Being it didn't have a converter on it, looked like they would have just crawled all the way through. I don't know if I can see it from there. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's kind of hard. How about we set it right there? That's a good spot. I really just need to roll the window down. I don't have to open this door up. And I still can't see. Man, it's so hard to see through the hood. Can't see over the hood. Let's see, can I get this window down? I'm thinking I can reach through. I really have to roll it down. Scared something might break. There it goes. I can reach through the door. It's still hard for me to see around this cover. You guys see any fire? I couldn't see nothing. It's so hard to see through there. I don't know if I got a longer spark plug wire or not. Have to round up one. You guys are probably like, there's no fire. I can't see. There's something up with this cover. Let me see, can I get something to ground that off of? Maybe we can stick that on there like that. Plug wires are so short. Why do they make them so short? Maybe I can see that. Yep. I don't see any fire on this end anyway. So it could be ignition problem. There we go, that's a problem. That'll work better for my eyes, I guess. I can't see anything. No fire, so that means we don't have any kind of ignition. So that can be distributor, or it can be these corroded plug wires. I think I got another distributor cap and rotor button out there. Let's go look. Try it one more time. No fire at all. So we got to start tracing down, see why we don't have any ignition going on. It's either going to be in the, well, I tell you what we can do. We can pop off the distributor cap, and if the timing belt's broke, that will tell us that the rotor button's not turning. That's what we could do, because if the rotor button's not turning, that would mean that we ain't gonna have any fire. So let me get you guys set up on another tripod, and we'll take the distributor cap off. So let's go ahead and pop this cap off and see if we can see what's going on. It does turn over kind of fast, but if this rotor button is not turning, that means that timing belt has jumped. Looks like it used to be a new cap and new wires. It is a new cap. The rotor button looks good. The inside of the cap, it looks brand new. So let's just set this here. Looks like it got some moisture in there. Now we see where the rotor button is, right there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it over and see, does it change directions. Well, it does turn, so that tells you there that the timing belt is still connected. So we don't have any fire. So it can be a combination of the ECU, or there is a fuse blowed somewhere, or the coil over here on the fender wheel. So I guess the key is on, so let's just take a test light. Let's see if we got any juice to the coil. And if we do, we could run a compression test and see what that looks like too. But we don't have any fire. Nothing there. Nothing there. So one of these should be hot. So something is definitely unplugged somewhere. There's a wire off or a fuse blow. And hopefully our little fuzzy friends didn't get in there and chew up nothing to keep it from firing. I don't see any wires over here that's look like they've been chewed. Everything over here looks pretty good. Map sensor's unplugged, I believe. Well, that goes to the air breather. So we got to figure out why we don't have any fire. It's been a long time since I messed with one of these, so got a bunch of fuse links over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go around and check all the fuses, and then when I find it, I'll show you. So I didn't figure out the firing issue. I got all the fuses checked out. There's none blowed. I got all the fuse links over there. They checked out good. We're not getting any 12 volts to the coil. But I said I was going to go ahead and do a compression test just to see what the engine is like anyway. So I got the compression tester hooked up. Now this thing got brand new spark plugs in it. Looks like some of those rapid fire plugs. They're brand new. That's the first one I pulled. So let's see what we got. I got the throttle block wide open. And look like we got like, what's that, 50 or 55? So that ain't good. That's not good at all. So let's remove this other plug. It could have some stuck rings from it sitting up, but I see it's got new spark plugs and new wires. Someone's replaced them, so I don't know if they were trying to figure out what was wrong with it. It's a lot of dirt right there around that plug. Could just have some stuck rings from it sitting so long. What we can do is pour some transmission fluid in that cylinder and let it sit, and that might free it up. But it was strange, it had fire for 1 second at the coil, and I had the test light hooked to the hot side of the coil, and I started it, and it came and then it went. So maybe that was the issue, maybe it lost fire to the spark plug. That plug is brand new. Got to zoom in too close. It's brand new too. Still got anti-seize on it. So let's see what this cylinder looks like. block the throttle open. Alright, let's see what this one looks like. What we got? Same. About the same, unless it's got a blow head gasket. Still, it could be stuck rings. I'd say it was sitting with the hood up. Is that water coming out of there? Let's see if something blows out of there. Kind of wet. Huh. Alright, let's pull this one. Gangrene on the spark plug wires. Start keeping up with them. One behind the compressor is the one that's hard to get to. Another brand new plug. Bosch Platinum. Let's just screw this in there first. Get something else to block that open with. All right. Same compression. So that's 3. Get this one off. I'm trying not to mix them up. Now unless it's jump time, which I don't think it has. I mean, I'm not sure. Another brand new plug. Alright, let's see what this one does. That one's a little higher. Looks like it's around 65-ish, maybe. So that one's got a little bit more compression than the other ones. I'm thinking maybe the rings are stuck on it. It's been sitting so long, the rings could be stuck. Let's get a little fluid and dump it down in the plug hole and see what that does. Might can get it to build up a little bit. I don't want to overfill it. I think that might be enough. Looking at the cylinder wall, looks pretty good down in that hole. I can see the cylinder on one side of the wall anyway. Engines, well, pistons and rings do freeze up if they sit too long. Throttle's wide open. Alright, let's try it now. Let's see what we got. We might have some better readings. It boosted the compression up then. It went up to 100. It went up to 120. Hope it didn't bend a rod, but it went way up. So I'm thinking we might have stuck rings. Really thinking we got some stuck rings on our hands. It really jumped up there then. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill each plug hole up full of transmission fluid. We'll let it sit overnight, and maybe that'll free those rings up a little bit. I just think the rings are stuck from it sitting, and then we'll come back and we'll retry it again, and we can get some compression built up. Then we know for sure that our engine is good, and then the next thing to do is to figure out why we don't have any fire to the plugs. So I'm just going to dump some transmission fluid in it, and then we'll go from there. Well, we got good news. We got good news. I put some transmission fluid in it, and I let it sit for about maybe an hour or so. And just came out here and just kind of bumped it over. You can see I done blew transmission fluid everywhere, all over the place. And then I pour a little bit in there, and I let it sit. So then came out about another hour later, and now we got compression. And I'll show you. I think this is number 1. I even messed up my other compression gauge. it won't go back to 0. So I had to put another gauge that I had on this hose here. So let me put that there. So now I'm feeling kind of good. I think the only thing was wrong with it, it just had stuck rings. Either stuck rings or stuck valves. So maybe that'll stay there. And we'll flip it over and show you guys what I came up with. Tripod's not acting right for me tonight. Everything's covered in transmission fluid from me constantly letting it spray everywhere. But I'll show you anyway. And blue transmission fluid everywhere. Oh, I don't have it screwed all the way in. That was weird. Oh, it was pushing down on the button. It was pushing down on the relief button, letting the compression come out. I'm like, what is going on here? All right. Something screwy is going on. So now we're way on up in compression. Let's try it again. So now we about at 100, sometimes 90, sometimes 100. I don't know if you can see that. So we getting good on that cylinder there. That's cylinder number 1. All right, let's go to cylinder number 2. I still think the rings are kind of stuck, but I think if we can ever get it to crank up, it'll free those up real nicely. We should have some good compression. Now this is cylinder 2. Kind of had you too bright there. That's what the problem was. All right, let's see what comes cylinder 2. We on up there, about 100. You get up to about 120, stop at like 100. So we slowly coming up. Slowly coming up. So let's go to number 3. I put a little PB blaster in there too. Just kind of mixed it. And this is number 3. Yeah. Got some trash falling down. I want to go in number 1 hole. All right. That one right there's got 150. It's like out of sight. It's got 150, so it's starting to come up pretty good. A little bit high, but Now, there's no transmission fluid down in the cylinders because I let it all blow out. And so this would be number 4. Number 4, let's see what number 4 does. Kind of hard to see. Number 4, I'll try and put it, well, that's number 4, and it's at 180. Wow. That one's even higher. Well, it's got compression. It might still have a little bit of transmission fluid around the rings. It's just going to take time to wash down, but it does have compression now. At first it had like, I think it had like 60 when really hitting on nothing. So what we could do, we could put the plugs in it and turn it over and see what it sounds like with all the plugs in it. And if we can just get fire where we can actually get it to hit off some fuel or something. I'm just going to stick the plugs back in it. Now, another thing I'm concerned about, it didn't have any antifreeze in it, but I can see something at the bottom of the radiator. I don't know if it's water. It don't look like antifreeze though. So I'm kind of hoping that it don't have a, I really hope it don't have a blow head gasket or a cracked block from it sitting up with whatever is down in the radiator or in the block. It's all the way down at the bottom, so hopefully it wasn't enough to just sit inside the block and crack it. I don't see any freeze plugs out, but we won't be able to know that until we actually crank it and put some coolant to it. It could have had a firing problem. They could have parked it because they wasn't getting any fire to the spark plugs. I mean, it's a possibility. They could have just kept messing with it, put new distributor cap, rotor button, and wires and plugs, and couldn't get it to fire, and it just gave up. At first I was thinking maybe because the driver's side seat is so broke and the driver's side door is so broke that they couldn't drive the doggone thing because of the seat laid back and the door won't stay closed. Maybe they parked it because of that, and at the time they couldn't find a parts car. So let's see what she does now. Good now. She sounds real good. It ain't spinning over super duper fast. So now we got compression. Just by chance, let's see if we got any fire to a spark plug. Stick a spark plug in it again. Let's see, we already got one out. Hard for me to see it. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Oh, coil wire is hooked up. She sounds good now, though. Still no fire. So we got to figure out what is going on with this ignition system. I believe it could be in this ECU over here to the side. I believe this ECU box could be bad. This controls the whole, I think, fuel injection system and the firing. It had 12 volts over here. One time it had it. I mean, now it ain't got nothing. So I'm definitely believing it's in this ECU box. So I'm gonna have to do some research on it and get another one. I guess we'll make another trip down there and grab another one. I used to have one, I threw it away. I thought I'd never use it, and a year later, now we need it. But it does got compression. So we'll get the ECU box for it, and hopefully we can get this thing fired up finally and get it where it'll run. Do one more. Oh yeah, she sounds good. So that's gonna be it for tonight, folks. On the 89, what is going on with my camera here? On the 89 Dodge Daytona. So y'all just stay tuned. It's gonna be some more to come. Like I say, now we got compression, we got exhaust hooked up, we got starter, and so it's just getting some fire to it. So y'all just stay tuned, it'll be more.